I'm classically an earth sign, so I'm fiercely practical and fiercely sort of feet on the ground. And so for me, it's always been about, I could see the value that color mirrors is to the world. And it, you know, for me, the excitement was in the application of taking that system and making it work in you know, the world of business. There was a role that color could play within organizations. And so it's about finding the language and finding that way in, so that it becomes the bridge, that people can start to understand and get the connections. It started with this idea that, you know, we have this energy body and we have chakras represented by a color. Well, what if we take that concept to an organizational body, you know, and if we imagine that, you know, the root represents the systems and the processes, the architectural design of the organization, you know, and the green might be the heartbeat of the organization, and the orange could be the team culture, and the yellow could be all around the power dynamics, and how that sits within the organization. You know, and the blue represents communication, full stop. And of course, the third eye, the indigo, would represent the vision of an organization. So you can start to see how you can then begin to work with color in a way that helps people get into, perhaps, you know, it could be a leadership team who are trying to go deeper with their visioning. That's where we want to take leaders. We spend a lot of time helping them get out of the weeds, you know, and into a different way to be, to reimagine themselves, to reimagine, you know, their company vision, and start to, you know, bring words of inspiration and hope as opposed to worry into the equation, because that doesn't lift anybody up. It just brings people down and creates these fear cultures. And fear cultures only go one way, you know. Basically, it just destroys. The more we can help people understand that if we're always creating the new or the higher or the best version of ourselves, and therefore the organizational collective, then there's a lot more possibility there than if we, you know, just stay in the weeds. I haven't found anything, any system, hypnotherapy, Reiki, acupuncture, you know, EFT, or anything that works better than color. Of course, color supports beautifully all of those different modalities. But to me, it was just the final key, if you like, the final piece of the jigsaw that put everything back together again. Kate and I, you know, actually created an 8-week program for children to build emotional resilience in the classroom. And we've, you know, found that actually working with the essences is just wonderful for the children, and has been very, very calming, where, you know, we had cases of particular individuals, children, obviously highly stressed, very anxious, because again, the focus in education these days has swung too much of that balance towards passing exams rather than, you know, a whole child in regard of, you know, full creativity, full expression. And I think that balance needs to be addressed and brought back. So that's, you know, that's just another angle that we've been looking at of, well, how do we bring those concepts and those tools and make it work in education? I think that when I left the corporate arena, my view was, you know, I'm really done with that, and there's no need to ever repeat that again. And of course, I'm not repeating, but what I'm doing is I'm coming back with different knowledge. So I'm in a different space, because I think, you know, the truth be told is I might have been in the corporate world and I might have held, you know, a grand position and been paid very well for the process, but I was hiding out because I wasn't being authentic in the truest, you know, understanding of what I've come to know, authenticity in the color work. And you know, as a color teacher, now I can be completely visible and authentic and show up from that space, and that's liberating. And so, yes, it is full circle, but it feels very different somehow. So my website's going to be kathroberts.com very soon, and I'm just working on some new material. So I'm actually just I'm really paring it down to, on an individual level, I'm just working with the elements. So earth, air, fire, water. Okay, so the 4 primary colors. And I'm working on some online material, which is really about aligning that, so how do we balance? And also, so if someone's sort of recognizing, actually, yeah, what I'm really needing, what's the opposite of water? Because we always we don't match with the same energy. We're going to match with the opposite. So fire, I'm needing the fire because I'm being over watery, and not having the courage or what have you. The golden gayas are actually a beautiful journey to undertake, to work specifically with that, or if it's earth, well, let's go to the platinums and work with the air, and bring that on and land that in. So I'm sort of, it's all coming together, but that's what I've been working with. So yeah, coming soon. My practical grounded, part of me couldn't survive without my magical witch, dreaming capacity. And if truth be told, I give myself, and this is what's changed inside of me, I give myself the space and the capacity to dream so that I can be in the magic, so that the intuition flows.